In 5th class, something good happened with me that I remember till date. I got 100 out of 100 in my mathematics paper. 5th class was a board class. So my teacher called me and she said, that see, I have never seen anybody scoring full marks, that too in mathematics, that too in board exam. You have done this, so I think you are going to do something good in studies. That was the day when I felt appreciated and recognized, and I had given this clear message to universe that in future, all I am going to do is to be a studious girl, because with studies comes recognition. With studies will come appreciation for me. Otherwise, in this family, I am not going to get this at all. So I started to focus more on studies. But my heart, it always wanted to diversify. I wanted to do everything. I started to try my hand at painting, sketching, drawing. I started to do embroidery also. I was busy with my village priest in all the pujas and all the Ramayana ayojans and everything. And I was not noticing the pain that was creeping in my body. I started to feel the pain in my joints and my elbow and every joint of my body. And after some time, I was bedridden. My parents took this decision with their meager resources to take me there. We went there at a place called Jabalpur, and doctor said that your daughter has this rheumatic fever. What happens in this disease is there are viruses always present in air. Now and then they attack the body of children and they create pain. And when it becomes serious, what happens? They attack your heart and they disturb the semilunar valve. And in some cases, it leads to death also. It was a shock for them. But then they asked that what can be the possible treatment? As a treatment, doctor suggested that she should be given the dose of antibiotic, and that antibiotic was penicillin. There is some problem with penicillin. What happens, as soon as it enters the body, it gets solidifies when it comes in contact with air. So it was again a problem because I had to be injected with penicillin in every 15 days, and not every MBBS doctor was ready to do this, because it can also lead to death in some cases. So in village, in every 15 days, it was also difficult to get a skilled doctor to inject me with the confidence that I will not die. Well, life was going okay. There was a problem of electricity in my village, so I had to study in kerosene lamp. I had other problems. There was no tuition. School situation was also very bad. Then the second best thing of my life happened. It was a 10th class result. My 10th results came, and I again scored 100 out of 100, this time not only in mathematics, but also in science. And my percentage were good enough to place me on the in the state merit list. Well, I became a pseudo-celebrity of my village. I was in news for quite a week, and the newspaper interviewer came to me, and he started to ask me questions. How you did this, this is a great achievement and all. And at last he asked one question. Surabhi, what do you want to become when you grow up? What is your career choice? Well, I was not knowing what a career is. All I was knowing that, okay, I'm good at dancing, so I can be a dancer. I can be a singer too. I can paint also. But a career, I told him, sir, I cannot recall anything. I cannot answer this question to you. He said, come on, you have to answer this. You have got a place in merit list. Suddenly, a word flashed in my mind out of nowhere, and I said, I want to be a collector. Well, he got the headline for the next day, and I was damned. Next day, the news came, collector banna chahti hai Surabhi. This news changed, course of everything for me after that. Everyone was coming to my home with the sweets to my parents, and they were saying that, Gautam ji, aapki ladki kuch acha karegi. I was enjoying all that limelight, but I was not knowing how to be a collector, what a collector is, and how important he is for society. Well, I went into 11th, I took mathematics, and I forgot about all these things. Yeah, I wanted to correct something that was wrong in my village, that was wrong with my education, that was wrong with the situation of my village, that there was no electricity, there was no proper hospital. So I wanted those things to be on right place, but through collector or not through it, I was not clear. Well, I passed 12th and I got APJ Abdul Kalam Scholarship for securing maximum marks in science stream. So again, one more pseudo-celebrity status, and with all this status, I came to this big city of Bhopal in this very college and took admission for Bachelor of Engineering. This decision of my parents to send me from the village to a big city for higher education was a big decision because I was the first girl from my village to go out and study. So it was not only I who was studying here, it was the whole village along with me. If I will come back, the hopes of all other girls, the door for all other girls will close automatically. So I had to perform here anyhow. Well, the first day of my college was the worst day of my college, to be frank, because what happened, when I entered the college, there was chemistry lab that was going on. I entered the class, and ma'am was taking lab. She asked me, okay, you go and do titration. Titration. In my village, there was no lab. I do not know the meaning of titration in Hindi. So I was standing there blank. Again, I looked at ma'am. She asked me, go there and pick up the test tube. First time in my life, I had seen the test tube, and I took that, and it broke. And I was like, oh my God, what I have done. Anyhow, I was hiding behind something so that ma'am should not notice me, and I passed 1 hour. Then the next class, engineering physics. Introductions were going on, and everyone was standing and fluently answering, giving their introduction in English, and I was freezing in my seat that when my turn will come, what am I supposed to do? What will I say? I do not know English at all. I am from a Hindi medium school. How will I introduce myself? I was just stealing words from everyone's introduction, and anyhow, I jotted down the words and gave my introduction. And I thought, okay, this has passed. But the sir was not patient enough. He asked me one more question. He asked me, okay, tell me the definition of potential. Okay, the basic question of physics. I have got APJ Abdul Kalam scholarship for scoring maximum marks in physics, PCM. But I had to answer this in English. And I cannot frame a sentence, a single sentence in English. So I just stood there and I kept mum. The teacher came to me and he said, have you really completed your 12th? Have you really passed it? You cannot answer this very basic question of physics. Only I knew how much I love physics. I'm not answering this not because I do not know physics. It is because I do not know English. But this all was going on in my mind only. I was not able to speak anything. Well, I came back to my room and I wept. I cried. I just wanted to pack my bag and go back to my village. No more higher education, nothing else. This city is not meant for me. This college is not meant for me. These people are not meant for me. I called my parents. That day they played the role of Jamavant, the role that Jamavant played for Hanumana, reminding him all of his great powers, that no, you can fight, no, you can fly. They told me that, okay, you come back, but see, you are closing the door of all other girls of your village, so you have to take a big decision. Well, I picked the point and I decided to fight, and I decided that by the end of this semester, I am going to be fluent in English. Well, I took my engineering books, I jotted down all the spellings and everything, I pasted them on my wall, and all my walls were colored with spellings, and I was always on the revision mode. And it went deep inside my subconscious mind that, my dreams also were in English after that. Like all the characters, be it. And in first semester, I topped not only my college, but I topped the whole university, and I got Chancellor Scholarship for that. That day I had this belief that if you really want to achieve something, anyhow, you do not have any means, because when I wanted to improve my English, I was not able to take coaching, and I was not having any English medium friend, so I was totally unarmed. But I do not know how the universe conspired, and I finally was able to give a TED talk even in this platform. Well, the college passed, and I completed my college when I was 20 and a half, so you need 21 years as minimum age for UPSC exam. So meanwhile, I wrote GATE exam, ISRO exam, BARC exam, SAIL exam, MPPSC exam, and after 6 months, I wrote IES exam. And my dear friends, I qualified all of them. When the first call letter that I got, that was from Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Department of Atomic Energy, Mumbai. So I was very excited. okay, I'm going to give this highly, touted as the one of the most toughest interview of India. So I was about to appear in that interview. I consulted some of my seniors about how it can be, how should I prepare for it. All I got was negative feedback. See, Surabhi, in whole of our life, we have never seen anybody qualifying that interview. Okay, you want to go to Mumbai for fun, then go, but don't have this expectation that you're going to do anything there. Well, all this negativity, I appeared in interview. And I was the first scientist to whom I was knowing is a scientist in my life. So I qualified that interview, and I shifted to Mumbai, and I became a nuclear scientist. Well, I wrote IES exam meanwhile, and it takes 1 year for the results to come. After 1 year, the result came. And I was AIR 1, not from any IIT, not from any NIT. I was from UIT, and I topped the exam. I was the first lady in India to top engineering service exam, and my marks were maximum marks in history of UPSC till date. So finally, after becoming a Sarkari officer, I resigned from BARC and I joined Indian Railways through engineering service, and I went to Sikandrabad for railways training. I was getting salary, there is no financial problem. I was getting respect from society, so I did not to study anymore, no hard work, so all party was waiting for me. And I was very excited, okay, life is now going to be a smooth ride, no more hard work, no more sacrifices and all, I have done enough. Well, I joined railways and I was thinking to enjoy, I was trying hard to enjoy and be happy, but I was not happy. And I was not knowing what is wrong with all these things. So I called my mother and I asked her, why is it happening with me? Why am I not enjoying all this? She said me, do you remember your 10th class interview? Have you ever read that piece of paper again, that you said you want to be something or you want to do something for your village and all those things? Was this struggle was only for a Sarkari job or a good salary, or was something for something else also? Well, I really recalled and I read this interview again, and I don't know how many times in my life I've read it. And I decided to prepare for civil service examination. Well, this examination, I want to say, is one of the toughest exam of in not only India but of world. 11 lakh aspirants appear for this, and mostly it takes 4 or 5 attempts for them to clear. Students in Delhi, if you will go there and see, they are giving their 24 hours every day and preparing for this exam. And I was doing the job of railways, was deciding to prepare for this exam. I was hardly getting 3 or 4 hours from my training to prepare for this exam. I could not take leave in training also. So the decision was going to be very tough decision for me. But with all those things, I decided to go ahead and I started my preparation. I was mostly on train roaming for railway training, so I bought a tab and I downloaded all the things. So I started reading online. I read in mobile. I read in my tab, and I was mostly on stealing mode. I was stealing minutes from hours. And sometime I felt frustrated. I felt like giving up. Again, I called my mom. She was a continuous mentor for me. So I called her. I said, see, even after becoming a Sarkari officer, I have to do again all these things. Life is so miserable for me. I was never enjoying when I was a child, and today also when I'm an officer, I'm not enjoying. I'm only doing studies, and I don't know where it is going to lead. Am I going to qualify it or not? I'm not sure, but still I'm again studying all the time. She said me one thing. See, you are 23. When I was 23, I had 3 childs. The youngest of them was 10-month-old. I had a family of 30 plus members to whom I had to cook meal. Then I had a job 10 kilometers away from our village to another village. So I had to go do that also. And then I had allergic skin. So for that I had to visit doctor and I have to cover my body all the time. So I had all these problems, but I never complained. You, on the other hand, do not have any social responsibility, familial responsibility. All you have is your dream. All you want is to prove for yourself, because for others you have already proved. Now this is your task, you have to do, and you are saying life is difficult at you. You need to change your lenses, beta. That day, I stopped complaining mostly, at least with her, and I was totally on a mission mode. All my scarcities, I converted them into my luxuries. The more I struggled, more strong I became, and finally, I got All India rank 50 in this coveted exam, Civil Services Examination 2016.